beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. I've got a frog in my throat. Bloody frog. How are you? If you could subscribe, that'd be really good because it helps put my numbers up and makes all the difference, apparently. Subscribe and put notifications on. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can do. Links are downstairs in the Dubras. But most of all, please do come and join our February Warrior Teacher Mindset Program. The WhatsApp group will begin buzzing shortly as they all get together, so I'm very excited about that. That's enough of my normal waffle. I do hope some of you come and join. You know, the more we have, the better. They were out the other day, the Warrior Teachers, some of them, with another group of women doing great work outside prisons, objecting to women to putting gusset fumblers in prisons. It was great to see. There was a lovely story about a local pub. One of the pubs came out, brought with them the people that own the pub. Brought them bacon sandwiches. I thought that was lovely. And they got a few free drinks, I think, afterwards. So that was rather marvellous. This is the stuff we like to see. Actual action. Come and join us. It's great fun. Enough waffle. Let's get on with it. Tech giants risk second Southport if they don't take down extreme content. Yvette Cooper warns. Moron! Yvette Cooper is a moron. We'll have to change that song. Gordon is a moron. Cooper is a moron. That'll do. Home Secretary warns that other attacks could be inspired by material that Axel Rudakabana, if I never hear his name again, that'll be too soon, is known to have accessed online. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I don't know what's going on in their funny little heads that they think that this is what's going to help. The only person that's responsible for what happened is Alex Rudakabana, whatever his name is Alex Rudakabana. He's the only one that's responsible. Right? He's responsible. And also the folk that ignored the signs or weren't able to deal with it, in which case we're all responsible to a certain degree, but it certainly ain't anything to do with what's online. They will do anything they can to convince you that controlling the information and controlling the knowledge is going to be something that they can do and they will do. You can't allow it. There is loads of stuff in this world that you would rather not know. There's loads of stuff in this world that I would rather not know. There's loads of stuff in this world that you don't want to come across. Sadly, that is how the world works. We're not gonna have the world run as if you're wrapping your 59-year-old mad aunt in a shawl because she's had to have the chair by the window. It's not going to happen, and it must not be allowed to. We need to be going exactly the opposite direction. We need to be minimizing censorship, making absolutely sure that under no circumstances is anything censored by the government or by a government body. Censorship is a relic of the 20th century, and it should stay there. Under no circumstances should these people be given this power. But Home Secretary says that it'll inspire people. Oh, will it really? Right, okay. Since when? Since when? I watched Schindler's List. I didn't want to invade, France. Just madness. Videos watched by the Southport killer could encourage further atrocities and must be removed by social media companies, the Home Secretary has said. Yvette Cooper warned that social media bosses were failing to act on extreme content accessed by Axel Rudakabana before he murdered 3 young girls in July. She said such unacceptable material might inspire other attacks. Listen to me, you incredibly stupid woman. If this person is as mad as he is and as mentally ill or as wicked as he is, because he's not a monster, he's a human, sadly, right? Is as mad and wicked as he is. It could have been Donald Duck that inspired him. It might be an episode of, Are You Being Served that pissed him off. You don't know. And it's certainly not the case that because somebody does something like this, you then go, right, immediately we need to censor everything. We've got to cut everything. It's just nonsense. You sound like some 20th century idiot. Rudakabana has been sentenced to at least 52 years in jail, viewed footage of an Islamist terror attack on a bishop in Australia, and illegally downloaded an Al-Qaeda manual. Miss Cooper and Peter Kyle, the science secretary, wrote to Google, TikTok, X and Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, in the wake of last week's sentencing. They can't help themselves. Mind your own damn business. What is wrong with these people? They warned that the Al-Qaeda manual continues to remain available online. So's Catcher in the Rye. There's no, actually, that's wrong for me to suggest those two things are the same. The Al-Qaeda manual, whatever it is, it's on the Home Office list of materials that has formed the basis for terror trials. Well, it's going to be online. What do you want to do? Right, so I've got a WhatsApp group that you've got no access to, or Telegram, or Signal, or whatever it may be. And I go, right, get this out there, will you, folks? And suddenly what I send out, the Al-Qaeda manual, goes out to everybody. And you won't know it happened. Right, until something happens. You're fiddling while Rome burns. It's the nonsense. The letter, seen by the Telegraph, also said the ease of access to such dangerous, illegal content is unacceptable. We must prevent further unlawful access to instructional material by those wishing to do harm to the UK. Amazing. Amazing. You'll tolerate immigration, which has brought a nightmare to our shores. And you're worried about this? I'm sorry, Yvette, you're fiddling while Rome burns. Again, you are fiddling. Stop it. You are not going to stop people finding this stuff. You're not. You're not. It's that simple. And this isn't the 20th century, my dear. This isn't. Well, you must be technologically illiterate. I've been told by my mate who works in Whitehall they are. We are again, they said, requesting that you, as industry leaders, swiftly remove any unlawful material on this list available on your services, including the material used by Axel Rudakabana. The ministers noted Rudakabana had sought graphic footage of the attack on Bishop Mary Emmanuel, which has been removed in Australia, but is still available to view in the UK. I'm not sure that drawing parallels with Australia right now is a good idea. No, not happening. Go away. Mind your own business. You absolute interfering censorious fool. This is not the game anymore. It's not the game. They've added, we therefore urgently asking you to ensure this is also removed from your platforms to ensure that it is not used to inspire other attacks. What do you mean used to inspire other attacks? Well, if somebody says it to the mate, do they see what they did to this bishop? Let's go and do that to somebody else. The trial has laid bare the potential consequences of failing to act on such content. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. This is absolute rubbish on the highest level. You've no idea what motivated that nut job. And if it wasn't that, it'd have been something else. If this is just lying to the public again so they can control the communication methods. We absolutely must resist this. Otherwise, we end up going back in time, orientated towards going back in time, medieval times, where they held on to the knowledge and just gave it to the people when they thought the people needed it. You need to go away. Very quickly in jerky motions. We now urge you to urgently review. We urge you to urgently review. Who wrote this? Again, the specific content accessed by this monster and the options available to you to remove all instances of this specific material found to be materially relevant to this tragic case present on your services. So what you want to do is you want to censor the whole world, do you? These people are insane. They're insane. Social media companies will not be required to remove illegal content from their platforms until March, when online regulations will be strengthened by the Online Safety Act. That's something that should never come into place, ever. It's an absolute disgrace of an act, and they're going to give Ofcom the ability to do it. This is the government controlling the information that you and I should have access to. And you think it will stop with this? You're living in cloud cuckoo land. But Miss Cooper and Mr. Carl said companies had a moral responsibility to act now. No, they don't. No, they don't. Adding that nothing should be off the table to ensure public safety. There you go. You get it? Nothing should be off the table to ensure public safety. What does that mean? Nothing. Nothing should be off the table? How far do you think these people will go? That's a good question to ask ourselves today. How far will these control freaks go? A redacted version of the report into decisions made by the North West England's Prevent team in Rudakabana's case is to be released this week. Redacted of what? What's missing? It will show that counter-terrorism officers believed the killer was not in danger of being radicalised and just had an interest in current affairs, the Sunday Times reported. So how would you tell the difference next time round? And besides which, it wasn't. It's not what he looks at and what he's consuming that's the problem. It's him, right? So those might be indicators. Oh, he's been looking at that. He's a bit of an oddball. Miss Cooper said a review of referrals to prevent the government's counter-radicalisation scheme is underway, paying particular attention to individuals obsessed with school massacres, as well as Islamist extremism. Regarding Rudakabana's autism diagnosis, Miss Cooper said where individuals are suspected to be neurodiverse. Stop it! The intervention should not stop because they are awaiting assessments, ignoring any risk they might pose. Neurodiverse. Stop it! This is nonsense. Neurodiversity is pure queer theory, by the way. That upsets people when I say that. I'm sorry you're upset about that, but queer theory seeks to break down barriers. If you've got a child who has a specific mental issue or a specific learning difficulty that is specific to your child, and using the term neurodiversity allows all sorts of people to jump on the bandwagon and take up the money that should be being used for your kids. But then Yvette knows that. Detective has expressed fear it could be years before tech giants release the Southport attackers' internet history from the days and weeks prior to the killings. Rudy Cabana deleted his Google Chrome and Microsoft Bing search histories minutes before leaving his home to carry out the massacre. Police were able to access other devices in the home, but not the main computer he is thought to have used. Why? They said that only a search on X, formerly Twitter, for the stabbing of Bishop remained. Officers failed to get hold of any other data despite requests to the US-based companies. You are chasing fog. You're chasing fog. It's got nothing to do with it. Nothing. This is a symptom of a larger cause which you refuse to deal with. Well, Merseyside Police and the Crown Prosecution Service said there was no evidence of a particular political or religious ideology. The incomplete search history means there may not be a full picture of his motivations. They just lie and they lie. So they'll assume that because he watched X, because he watched something, that he did this. But they won't assume because he believes something he did this. See? It's what suits. It's what suits. Last week, the Financial Times reported that X, owned by Elon Musk, the tech billionaire, refused to remove the footage, good, of the stabbing of the bishop, which took place in April 2024 in Sydney. eSafety, the Australian internet regulator, said it felt great sadness the video had been watched by Rudy Cabana on X months after the regulator wrote to request its removal. Unbelievable. You can read the rest of the article. It's there for you to see. But that's very telling, isn't it? You know, post the Second World War, after the true horrors of what happened in the camps was revealed, it wasn't revealed to the public in any way that was an intense enough experience for them to get their head around it till they saw the footage. Censorship works both ways. If this was 1937, she'd be calling for that to be taken off. I think that's exactly what they are. Censorious to the hilt. To the hilt. We don't need you, mummy. We don't need you. All right? So it's time for you to stop. Censorship is an evil, at times a necessary one. But we've seen what the dangers of censorship can be before. They dig in, and once they dig in, they can do what the hell they like. This must be resisted, and it must be resisted at all costs. I'll leave you to read the rest of the article, and you can let me know what you think. Bloody Yvette Cooper. Moron. I'll see you later. Bye.